Hey plant fam! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This is part of my jungle. If you are not new here, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. So, today, I have another video for you where I am going through a list that I found online of the, top 6 most hated plants. So I don't remember the name of the publication, but I will leave it down there for you guys to click on the link to read this article for yourself. But essentially they asked a bunch of plant influencers, I don't know who they asked, they didn't ask me, what their least favorite plants were. And I thought it would be fun to react since I just did a video about my least favorite plants. I thought it would be interesting to see how this list compared to that one and whether we agree or disagree with these 6 plants, although they kind of lumped some together, but we'll get there. So these are the top 6 most hated plants by plant influencers, according to this online article. So I've got my tea today in my new favorite mug from Fired Elements. You guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, how much I love Nicole and the stuff that she makes. So I can leave her information linked for you down below as well. Not sponsored, just really genuinely love her stuff. This is my new favorite mug because it's very just like cozy to hold. I like the shape of it. So plus it's really cute and I love that it's handmade. The tea feels so good. I've been talking so much lately and my throat is always feeling slightly irritated. So let me put this down so that I can talk with my hands the whole time. And let's get started with this list. So the first one on the list wasn't really surprising for me because if you watch my plant shopping videos, I've definitely mentioned that I don't love the look of these plants before. And I'm looking over here because I actually have one now and it's spider plants. You guys know that I never really liked spider plants, but I got some like little babies from a nursery where they were just gonna throw them away. And I was like, screw it, might as well propagate them. I gave most of them away with my packages. I like to give a little freebie with my packages if I can. I've been trying to be more consistent with that now. There's nothing actually really in my shop, sidebar, but I am restocking, I promise, soon. There's a lot of stuff going on, auctions, things happening, so definitely come and follow me over on Instagram if you want to stay up to date with all of that, or join the Facebook group because I try to update both every day. I'm on Instagram all the time though, so like if you want to reach me, that's the way to do it. Let me grab my spider plant. I always want to say snake plant. Why do I do that? I do it all the time. Anyway, this is my, oh, it's dripping. I just watered it yesterday. This is my spider plant ice cream cone. This is a pot from my friend Adina that she sent me. I did an unboxing video of all the things that she sent me maybe like a month ago, but that was a members only video, so if you're not a member you didn't see it. But I have in here like just a nice little mix of the inner variegated as well as the outer variegated. It still looks a little thirsty. Not all of these cuttings did well once I put them in soil. So if you guys have any care tips for this thing, because apparently I'm not good at it, or maybe I'm just not watering it frequently enough, but there's a little green one in there somewhere too. It's kind of dying. Oh, damn it. That was from my friend Miles. Hopefully it comes back. It's not looking super happy in there, but anyway, I don't know. I don't hate it. I think it can be really cute. I like the inner variegated one. So let me know in the comments below if you guys like spider plants or if you agree with the plant influencers who said that they don't like them. So this also has like a base that looks like a cone. Waffle cone. Okay, the next one on the list I find kind of offensive because it's just such a broad generalization and it is succulents and cacti. You guys, I mean, just look behind me. You can see cacti. There's cacti up here. There's cacti back here. I've got I have a whole shelf of cacti and a bunch of succulents in the window over here that I don't show you guys that often. I plan on doing it, I promise. I mentioned in a video recently, my favorites video, my September favorites, because I showed you one of my new euphorbias. And a lot of you were like, yes, we want to see them. It's just, they're not always the most popular videos, so I don't always film about them, but I'm happy to do a little tour of my cacti and succulent collection because I do need to clear off those shelves and move things. But anyway, I love them. I think that they're really great, really easygoing. I love how weird cacti can be, and I love euphorbias especially. I think they're really, really cool. Yeah, and succulents are gorgeous. I mean, I started on succulents, for anybody who's new here or doesn't know too much about me yet. Like, I started my plant journey 4 or 5 years ago with succulents, and I just happened to keep a few alive. And when it got really big and etoliated, I didn't know what to do with one of my sedum firestorms that I actually still have. It doesn't look great, but I still have it. Once those little baby leaves, when I learned how to propagate them and they started poking out cute little pink roots, I just became totally obsessed with propagating plants. And where I was living, though, I didn't have a lot of bright light, so a lot of my succulents weren't doing well, and I was getting a little bit discouraged with having them. So I switched to foliage plants that were going to do better in my more like shaded-ish windows. I had like east and west facing windows, but the west facing window had a big tree out in front of it. So not the best lighting in the world, but the houseplants were very happy there. So now that I'm in a space where I have these huge west facing windows right in front of me, there's actually not a lot of foliage plants that can handle being directly in the window. So I have a whole shelf of cacti, succulents, and then all the Hoyas that can handle the bright direct light, which isn't very many of them. So there is that. Let me know in the comments below if you agree. I think they said that the reason why they didn't like succulents and cacti was because they just like don't grow as quickly, but that's something that I like about cacti, is that I don't have to worry about constantly propagating it. And they're very rewarding to have, in my opinion, when you have one for a few years and you look back on photos and recognize how much it's grown. It's just really satisfying when you, for me as a plant collector, I love the idea of having had a plant for a really long time. So I hope that one day a lot of my cacti are massive and that I can say, like, yeah, that thing is 10 years old. Like, how cool is that? When I got it, it was just a little baby. It's the same way I feel about all the rest of my plants. They grow slower, but I don't know, I think that makes it more rewarding in a way. And for somebody like me who doesn't want to have to water their plants constantly, cacti are great. Like, succulents need a little bit more water, but cacti, like every like once a month I'll water my cacti if it's warm out, because they're in a west facing window, so they dry up pretty quickly. But again, let me know in the comments below if you agree and why do you hate cacti? I love them. Anyway, especially the blue ones. I like blue cacti and weird shaped ones. But number 3 on the list, a lot of you are gonna agree with, because a lot of you added it to my list of plants that I hate. And the only reason why I didn't put this one on the list of plants that I hate is because I have a love-hate relationship with it, and I have talked about it a lot in other videos, so I didn't want to be too repetitive. So we're talking about it today, and that's the Philodendron Pink Princess. I mean, who's surprised? Is anybody surprised? The hype around this plant turned a lot of people off and made a lot of people hate it. Like, I think that's a strong word, obviously. I don't agree with hating any plant, but you're allowed to not like the look of a plant. You're allowed to think that it's ugly. That's okay. That's your opinion. It's not offensive to Mother Nature, I promise. But Yeah, the pink princess gets a lot of hate, and I was one of those people that threw a lot of hate at that plant, but then I found one that had really, really beautiful pink variegation, and she's just got really great genetics. So if you can find one that's really, really pink and beautiful, like, I don't hate it. What I hate is how she grows and how her leaves get stuck and don't ever come out right. So there's that. But I mean, she's beautiful. I can't even lie. I'm gonna show you footage of mine in the greenhouse. She is, everything in the greenhouse is a little bit like on the struggle bus right now. We've been dealing with some spider mites that we're in the process of taking care of, but she is still doing her thing. And like, everything needs to be repotted. Literally everything. So we have a lot of work to do, girl. Like, a lot of work to do. So number 3 on the list is the Philodendron Pink Princess. There you guys go. You got it. It's finally on the list for those of you who wanted to add it to the last one. So number 4 I thought was a little bit surprising until I read their reasoning for it. So I definitely encourage you to go and read the article so you could see like who said what and why they didn't like these plants. But somebody said bird of paradise, and apparently a lot of other people agreed with it. And I get their reasoning. Their reasoning was that it's just really hard to get these plants to thrive indoors, and a lot of the appeal of the bird of paradise is the flowers. So if you've never seen a bird of paradise flower, I'll show you a picture on screen now, and then you'll understand why it's called a bird of paradise. So these grow like wild in Florida and stuff like that, and I think they're really beautiful. I love their foliage, like, personally, so I never minded having one in my space. I just wasn't able to keep it in a spot where it was getting enough light because my cat would eat it if I put it right in front of the window where he had access to it. So it wasn't a happy plant in my possession, and I can understand why it would be difficult to keep this tropical plant that lives out in the wilds happy and thriving in your home. So unless you have really bright west or south facing windows, it's going to be hard to keep a bird of paradise happy in your space. But I have seen people do it, and they're gorgeous. But that's my personal opinion. Let me know if you agree in the comments below. I left my bird of paradise with my mom because I didn't have space for it here, and she was able to put it in front of the window since my cat I also brought here with me, and he's not there anymore with her, so he's not there to eat the plants. She's able to keep them directly in front of the window. I left her with a big Sansevieria, bird of paradise, a Birkin that I didn't want, and like my big Monstera deliciosa, and they're a lot happier now because she's able to keep them in a better spot. So one day I'm taking that snake plant back though, and potentially the bird of paradise, but she can have the Monstera if she wants it. We have another baby one up here, plus I have my elbow, which like is my life. I love that plant. So do we need it? Okay, so number 5 isn't surprising, but they did lump 2 together. I guess people said these 2 pretty equally, and one of them we did mention in my least favorite plants video, or plants that I hate, which by the way was meant to just be lighthearted and fun for anybody who took it a little bit too seriously, but majority of us had fun with it. So I'm happy to do videos like that if you guys have any more suggestions. But this one, they lumped together ferns and crotons for number 5. And like, I agree with both because they're really difficult plants to get to thrive in your home. Plus we know already that I don't love the look of crotons. I think that ferns and crotons both do a lot better outdoors, and I think they look a lot better outdoors because they just look healthier and happier. I think a bird of paradise would be a lot healthier and happier outdoors as well. So, you know, climate is definitely something to consider. If you can keep these plants outside even just for part of the year, maybe then they're not bad plants for you to have. But for those of us who are trying to grow them as indoor plants unsuccessfully, like, it's not you. They're just, they do better outside. It's just, it is what it is. So when you bring them inside and they look ugly, we hate the plant, we call it ugly. But realistically, if it was outside and it was able to thrive, it would be beautiful, and we would consider it to be beautiful. So definitely keep that in mind when you're thinking about plants that you don't like, right? So number 6 on the list shouldn't be surprising for anybody either, is another one that you guys added on pretty frequently to my video in the comment section, and that is the Fiddle Leaf Fig. And I cannot disagree with this because I recently just had to finally check mine. She was just like one little leaf up at the top there, and then it fell off finally. So she was just a stick, not looking cute, in a pot that said, please don't die. It didn't work. The pot didn't give like any of the positive vibes that I was hoping it would, but you guys have seen that one in my videos before. I've shown it on Instagram. I've done like little shorts with it and stuff, making fun of her for dying. And then she died. So these can be really difficult plants to keep happy inside as well. They're pretty finicky with their environment. If you can't give them the right environment, it's just not going to thrive and it's not going to look good. And it's an easy plant for some people and it's a really difficult plant for other people. So I think what it comes down to mostly is the environment in which you keep it in, and that's really it. And it can be hit or miss with the plant itself, whether or not you got like a nice healthy one from a nursery or if you got like one at the discount table at Lowe's. You know, one's going to do better than the other when you bring it home, because ficus don't like to be moved around. They're going to throw a fit when you move it from a nursery or a store to your home. And then it's already been moved from whatever nursery it was grown in to the place where it was sold. So it was on a truck, and then it was in a nursery, then it was in the car, and it's in your home. So they're just not happy with being moved. Even if you just move it from one spot on the shelf to another spot on the shelf, like it might throw a little bit of a hissy fit. But the good thing about ficus, majority of them anyway, is they can drop all their leaves and regrow them. It's just a pain in the butt. This Buddha planter I have up here, I cannot take it down because it's really heavy, but it has ficus Audrey in it, like 3 little baby plants in one pot. I have another one over here. This one was mine. This one was David's. This one doesn't look very good because it didn't do well in the move. But this one dropped its leaves in his care at least like 3 times until I took over watering it. And it hasn't done that since. I don't know what's going to happen in the winter. They very well may decide to do that again, but I'm going to do my best to make sure that that doesn't happen by keeping the environment like where it should be in here. But they will come back, and usually they'll be fine. So there is that, at least. The trick with ficus is to just be really consistent with your watering and your care, and make sure you're feeding it properly. So let me know again if you agree or disagree. I'm sure a lot of you agree with this Fiddle Leaf Fig. I can talk, it's fine. Fiddle Leaf Fig. I like to say fiddly. So I'm sure a lot of you agree with this one. Not much debate on it. I love them. I think that they're a great looking plant. I know not everybody agrees with that, but I probably won't be getting another one. I'm just going to stick with the Ficus elastica that I do a lot better with. In my opinion, that is the easiest ficus. I do love my little triangulars over here. And you guys are always asking me what this one is. This is my Hoya Matilde. Not related to the video, but literally almost every video you guys comment asking me what is that trailing plant behind me to my right. And it's my Hoya Matilde. Nothing special, but she's one of my favorites. And I just put my Kanya Kumariana on the shelf next to her, looking so cute. Hopefully she does okay there. I might have to move her into the cabinet for the winter. So I thought we would enjoy her at least for a little while with this cute little trellis. behind me. So yeah, that is it for this video. That is the top 6 most hated plants by plant influencers according to this online article. Again, you can find the link to this article in the description box below. I'll also have it pinned to the top of the comment section like I usually do. Sometimes I forget, but most of the time all the info you need will be right there as well. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, you should give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me. There's a join button down there if you want to be part of the official plant fam and not miss out on the extra videos. I try to do at least 2 members only videos a month, lots of different things, sometimes random unboxings that aren't necessarily plants, or just like vlogs. Sometimes we just hang out and vlog. We do live streams as well together and all that good stuff. So if not, there's a super thanks button if you want to super thanks me and donate a few dollars to my channel. You'll get a little highlighted reply or comment, kind of like a super chat, but in a regular video. So I thought that was a cute new feature. So basically you guys can super chat me anytime. Anytime. Doesn't have to be in a live video, and those comments do get priority over other comments. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!